a mean click.
Hey everybody, how's it going today? It's your boy Churchy here, and today I'm bringing you kind of like a new video that I haven't really done anything like this before. Today I'm bringing you the top 5 best WoW PvP classes. Now remember, this video is in my opinion. It's totally my opinion, but like if you think I'm right, you think I'm wrong, let me know down in the comments. Don't hold back. Like I really want to know what you guys think. So this is the top 5 best WoW PvP classes in my opinion. All right, let's jump right into it. So at number 5 we do have the Death Knight.
Bruh.
Now I know what you're thinking. Like Death Knight, really? Like this class? You never see this class in these kind of videos because they're so like. No one likes Death Knights, right? But hear me out for a second. Let me explain. I can do the pros and cons and everything like that. The Death Knight is definitely one of the best WoW PvP classes, and preferably the Frost spec, but some people like to go on Holy, but I prefer Frost. So for the pros, obviously we have high burst damage, survivability, versatile comps, and basically they have 3 trinkets. Their burst damage is absolutely insane. Their survivability is just like, they don't die, right? I mean, all this leeching and, you know, like, it's almost like a lifesteal effect. And then versatile comps, they can go punch cleave, a lot of their 3v3s are a lot of cleaving, and they basically have 3 trinkets as well when you go desecrated ground. For cons, they have limited mobility, they're kind of boring, and there's sort of a lack of accomplishment factor. Like, no one like hate on me for this last one, lack of accomplishment, but like I feel like when I win as Death Knight, it's not like overly exciting because it's kind of, you know, you do it fairly often. Limited mobility, even though they do have Death Grip, they don't really have a way to like themselves get to the target. They kind of pull the target towards them. So that's kind of my opinion on the Death Knight so far. Moving on to the 4th one, we have the Rogue. There's a little gnome rogue dancing, you know how it is.
Oh nigga, you gay!
So here we go, let's start talking about the rogue then. Spec wise, it's kind of up to you at the moment. Like, they're all fairly decent. I would say Assassination is the weakest at the moment because combat's very, very strong in 2s, and I think Subtlety is probably the best way to go in 3v3s. But Assassination can work as well. I think Assassination can definitely work. It has some pretty good damage. In general, it's always had good damage. Even though it got nerfed, I think it always has good damage. So when we're talking about spec, it really is up to at the moment. So now switching over to the pros of the Rogue. The high burst damage is absolutely insane. They can open kill somebody very quickly. They have decent sustain damage if you're in combat. I would say the sustain isn't as good as Assassination, but combat and Subtlety have some decent sustain because like combat's easy with Adrenaline Rush, and Subtlety's got very low cooldowns for their burst. Rogues have high mobility with Shadow Step and Burst of Speed. They have amazing utility. They can stun, blind, sap, slow, you know, whatever. Good luck getting away. They have decent survivability most of the time. Like, wall is insane. Combat readiness, it's pretty nuts. Evasion's also pretty nuts. And preparation just resets it all. So yeah, good luck with that. And then highest rated comps. They can run RMD. They're really, really strong in a lot of 2v2 and 3v3 comps at the moment. So that'll do it for the pros. Now let's switch on over to the cons of the Rogue. Cons are they're very stealth dependent. If you get knocked out of stealth early, like just by accident, say some stupid shit happens, then you're pretty much you're fucked from there on. Like, good luck, you know, recovering at that point. And then, well, in my opinion, I kind of suck at Rogue. Rogues also have a very high skill cap. Like, they're very difficult to learn, I would say, in general. For me, at least, I kind of think they're hard because they're hard to win with, in my opinion. They're very useless under geared. They do very poor damage, I would say, if they're not geared, and they have very low self healing. Recuperate does not do enough. Like, it just doesn't most of the time. If you can get a re-stealth, it does, but in general, it really doesn't. Just in my opinion. So, to be honest, those are my opinions on the Rogue, and that's why I gave it the 4th spot. So, to finish off the Rogue here, let's just watch me finish off this Monk. Fantastic, moving on. And for our 3rd spot, we have the Warrior. And honestly, in my opinion, like to me, Warrior is probably one of my favorite classes, but let's talk about the spec here. Spec for Warrior at the moment would be Arms and Fury. I've seen some decent prots, you know, hashtag Swifty and all that good stuff, Swifty life. But Arms and Fury at the moment, I would say is the best. It's probably the best way to go, has the most potential, I would say, if you're good. Like if you're good at the game, Arms and Fury for sure. It's definitely the best way to go. So then let's talk about the pros of being a warrior. Warriors have insane amount of damage, like stupid amount of damage. They have very high mobility, heroic leaps, charges. If you're double time, you can charge twice. Like, holy crap! Decent utility as well. They have fears, they have slows, they have stuns. They're pretty freaking good. Like, warriors will stick on your ass. They have decent survivability. Like, I wouldn't say the survivability is insane. Like, it's not a crazy amount of survivability, but it's to the point where, I mean, you can parry, you have healing, you're pretty good. And they have high rated comps. Like, Turbo Cleave is really, really good at the moment. Like, it's insane. And in most 2v2 comps with a healer, you wreck everybody. So that's it for the pros. Let's talk about the cons. When you're armed, like, I know I said survivability is a pro, but when you're arms, survivability is kind of a weak link because you do need a healer. You can't really run, like, it's very hard to survive as arms. Warrior is seen as slightly boring. I don't think it is, but mostly in general. Well, actually, okay, that's a lie. I kind of think it's a little boring sometimes. And then arms has high downtime in between abilities. You don't really know what to do sometimes because rage and high cooldowns. And then also inconsistent damage when you're Fury. When you're Fury, sometimes you really don't know what's going to come out. So that is my opinion on the Warrior and why I would give it the number 3 spot. Let's move on to the second one. And I'm talking about the Mage in the second spot. Now, as we all know, I mean, it's kind of given. The Mage is pretty insane. It's always been insane. And for specs, I would recommend, in my opinion, Frost and Fire. And the reason why I do this is because Frost at the moment has crazy amount of kite. Like, good luck catching a Frost Mage. And Fire's burst damage is just, I mean, look at Hansel's videos. To be honest with you, like, there you go, telltale sign. Fire's got crazy burst damage. So those are the 2 specs I would go with. So now let's move on over and talk about the pros. Mages have really, really crazy burst damage. Like, both specs, like Fire, Frost. I mean, Arcane does as well, but these are 2 I want to focus on. Fire and Frost have really crazy burst damage. They also have very high mobility. Like, Blinks and Burst of Speed give very, very high mobility. Especially when you're in Frost, because you have so much slows and stuns that, you know, we even have Fire with Dragon's Breath, like, and Blast Wave slows. Like, it's very difficult to catch them. High utility, like I said, with the slows and the stuns, and the Polymorph as well. Shit, Polymorph, watch out for that shit. Ice Block is insane. Ice Block is crazy. Even though they're squishy, Ice Block will save your life. And also, Mages have very high rated comps with, like, stuff like RMD. Like, it's very strong at the moment. Like, Mage, you can't really go wrong. Now let's flip on over to the cons. The cons of being a Mage is sometimes, how do I put this? Like, sometimes they're squishy because they do take a lot of damage. Just being clothy, right? Being clothy in general, they do take a lot of damage. And also, when you're Frost, you have very decent downtime because you're kind of lacking an instacast. Like, Ice Lance is instacast, but you really don't want to be spamming it if you don't have any procs, right? So sometimes the downtimes, it's fairly decent when you're playing Frost. Also, in Fire, it is very all or nothing. Like, if you don't get those crits in Fire, it is very, very, very difficult to sometimes kill somebody. Unless you can survive for a long time, because Fire's got some good, you can move while casting, but it's very, very difficult when you're a Fire Mage. So that's why I give Mage the number 2 spot on this list. And moving on to the number 1 spot, we have the Druid. Of course we have the Druid. Why wouldn't we have the Druid? Alright, before I move on to talking about it, just give me 1 second. I just want to show you guys something. 1 moment, please. Alright guys, now that that's over and we can get back to talking about this, let's talk about spec. Spec, they're all good. You can't really go wrong. Balanced DPS, Feral DPS, Restoration Healer, they are all very good and have very, very high potential. Moving on to the pros of a Druid. Crazy burst damage. All the DPS specs, you're just insane. Like, how much damage you can put out is nuts. The sustained damage is also very, very high. Not so much in balance. Sometimes balance is very difficult to get the cast off, but it's really, really high as well. High self-healing. Ysera's Gift and Rejuvenations. Oh my god, like just, where do I even start? Like crazy self-healing. High mobility, Displacer Beast, Skull Bashing, Wild Charging. It's just, you've dash, it's insane. High rated comps. A lot of cleaving going on with Feral at the moment, and balances does really, really well with Mage, and survivability. That kind of goes along with self-healing. They can live for a long ass time with Nature's Vigil. Don't get me wrong, man, like believe me. Moving on to the cons, not a whole lot. Don't have to really worry about it. They have a decent skill cap because like the different forms, and cooldown management can sometimes be difficult in balance, but other than that, just have fun being broken. So that would be my top 5, guys. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you later.